Nice to meet you. I will upload a lot of space-related videos in the future. This time, I will send it with the theme of 4 selections of dangerous explosion candidates rather than Betelgeuse. Many people think of Betelgeuse as a celestial body that causes a big explosion. Certainly, speaking of Betelgeuse, it was likely to have exploded. However, I do not know when it will explode, and it seems that it will have little impact on humanity. This time, I will introduce 4 celestial bodies that may be more affected by the explosion than Betelgeuse. First, I would like to introduce a binary system of 2 stars called KIC 9832227, which is 1940 light-years away from the Earth. It is said by scientists that there is a possibility of a big explosion of a red nova in 2022. A red nova is an explosion phenomenon that does not have the energy of Betelgeuse but looks very bright. It is thought that this is an explosion caused by a contact binary, which is a binary system that revolves closer to the point where a celestial body such as the Sun that causes nuclear fusion and shines itself revolves. A star expands as it approaches the end of its life, but a star with a larger mass will run out of life sooner, so only one of the bins will expand. The expansion of one causes the distance between the 2 stars to come closer. Then, the smaller star will be deprived of more gas by the larger star, and the smaller orbit will approach the star with a larger orbit. Eventually, it becomes a contact binary that is closer enough that the outer layers of the star contact each other. It is believed that when the pace is further increased and the material explosively flows in, an explosion called a red nova that emits a strong red light will occur. Among the red nova candidates, the binary system KIC 9832227 is quite close to the Earth, and the distance between the stars is also very close, so there is a possibility that a red nova will occur in the very near future at the human level of 2022. It is said that KIC 9832227 is originally a 12th magnitude star, which is so faint as to be barely visible to the naked eye, but when it explodes, it will suddenly brighten up to the brightness of a 2nd magnitude star like North Star. However, since the exact mechanism of the red nova has not been clarified, and there is a paper that argues against the explosion at this timing, it cannot be concluded that it will occur in 2022. The astronomical candidate to be introduced next is V Sagittae, a pair of white dwarfs and stars located about 7,800 light-years away from Earth. V Sagittae is a binary system consisting of a white dwarf whose weight is 0.9 times that of Sun and a star whose weight is 3.3 times and revolves around a half-day cycle. Since the 2 stars are very close to each other, matter flows from the star toward the white dwarf with strong gravity, forming an accretion disk around the self-colored dwarf, and then falling onto the white dwarf body. During this process, a large amount of heat is generated and emits light. In the case of V Sagittae, if the mass of the white dwarf increases and the mass of the star decreases, the gravity of the white star becomes stronger and the force of the stellar gas to stay is weakened. In addition, as the mass of the white dwarf increases, the orbit of the star shrinks, and the pace of substance deprivation increases day by day. Eventually, all the matter will be sucked up by the white dwarf and eventually fused into one star with a white dwarf core in the center. The current V Sagittae is a dark celestial body that cannot be observed without a telescope, but it can overtake the brightest first star Sirius at the peak of the explosion and become brighter than Venus, which is brightest next to the Sun and Moon in the Earth's sky. It seems that there is also a nature, If Betelgeuse explodes, it will shine brighter than the full moon and it will look bright even in the daytime, so it is not that far, but this V Sagittae that is likely to cause an explosion within the range of human life. I think it's a celestial body that deserves much attention. Next, I would like to introduce Betelgeuse, which is only 150 light-years away from the Earth. This star is different from the past and is known as a candidate for a celestial body that causes a supernova explosion with an energy that is orders of magnitude higher. Since Betelgeuse is believed to be 640 light-years away from Earth, Betelgeuse is less than a quarter of that distance away. It is also famous as the closest celestial body to the Earth among the known supernova candidates. Let's take a look at the structure of this stellar system. In fact, these binaries are also pairs of stars and white dwarfs, just like V Sagittae. It is believed that the star Betelgeuse A is about 1.65 times the mass of the Sun, and the white dwarf Betelgeuse B is about 1.15 times the mass. The star Betelgeuse A expands gradually as it ages, and evolves into a red giant star like the Sunday. Then, the gas in the outer layer of the star cannot be maintained by its own gravity, and it will be released to the outside. The gas is taken in by the adjacent white star, and the mass of the self-colored suspicious star gradually increases. Actually, there is a limit of mass that a white star can exist as a white star, called Chandrasekhar limit. I will omit detailed explanations here because it becomes long and difficult, but about 1.4 times the mass of the Sun is the limit at which a white dwarf can exist. So when the mass of Betelgeuse A finally increases to 1.4 times that of the Sun. In this way, a supernova explosion is flashy. And it is believed that the neutron star remains in the center. A supernova explosion that a large-scale star with a mass such as Betelgeuse that is more than 8 times the mass of the Sun at the end of its life will cause a supernova explosion such as Type 2, Betelgeuse. The examples are classified as Type 1a. By the way, in the case of V Sagittae, since a large amount of gas is scattered around when it merges with a star, it seems that the mass of Shirata can be combined without exceeding 1.4 times the mass of the Sun. Lastly, I would like to introduce an astronomical object called WR104, which is 7,500 light-years away from the Earth. It is unlikely that existing celestial bodies will directly affect the Earth, including Betelgeuse. However, this WR104 is a celestial body that is in danger of affecting the Earth. It is considered that even a supernova explosion will not directly affect the Earth if it is far away by several hundred light-years or more, but the gamma-ray burst that can occur at the same time as the supernova explosion is a phenomenon that can affect even a few thousand light-years ahead. Is known. Gamma-ray burst is thought to occur by some mechanism when black holes are simultaneously formed during a supernova explosion. Therefore, gamma-ray burst does not occur in Law-type supernova explosion that leaves neutron stars such as Betelgeuse. However, WR104 is known as an astronomical object that can cause gamma-ray burst up to 3 times. The first chance is the timing when the star of WR104, a star, causes a supernova explosion at the end of its life. WR104A is currently about 10 times the mass of the Sun, but it may have been heavier at the beginning and could cause an oversized supernova explosion enough to leave a black hole in the center. It will explode somewhere in the next hundreds of thousands of years. And the second chance is when the companion star B star causes Type 2 supernova explosion. However, this star is not so large in mass, and it is thought that there is a high possibility that it will leave a neutron star instead of a black hole in the center even if it explodes. And the third chance is when the remaining neutron stars and black holes merge. It is believed that main star A and companion star B will each leave a neutron star or a black hole after the explosion, but if any one of these remains, a gamma-ray burst is believed to be released. It's unlikely that the gamma-ray burst of WR104 will hit the Earth, and it will be a long time after it happens, but in terms of risk, it was a dangerous celestial body that surpasses other celestial bodies. Conclusion: I want to see a supernova explosion while I'm alive. I'm sorry I'm not good at English. Thank you for your viewing.